So we're at Bradford for the second meeting of the 2023 season, the Dave Beresford Memorial Meeting. This is pit access, and we're going to have a wander around the pits and chat to a few of the drivers that are here today. Joe Booth, we are talking to you because you raced at Kings Lynn last Saturday. You're doing really well in heat 1 or 2, whichever one you're in, first heat of the night, up to second, and then it went wrong. And we just kind of thought, let's find out, because it looked quite serious.
Yeah, we thought it was quite serious at first. Lost a lot of oil, so we've had the engine out this week, sent it back to the builders. We think we've sorted the problem, but we'll soon see.
Because you said last week, I was chatting to you before the meeting, you said you had the engine out and you kind of thought you'd sorted that. Was it the same problem?
Yeah, well, when we first bought the engine, we had a slight oil leak on the sump gasket. Anyway, we managed to seal it up and it stopped. So, yeah. And then in the winter, we've sent it off just for a bit of a refresh. I don't think it had been looked at for 2 or 3 years. So we spent a bit of money on it, and it's come back. And after 13 laps, it's not something that you need to see.
No, well, you couldn't see, could you?
I might have stood a chance of winning if I could have seen.
But you were catching Matt up to that point. Well, you're going really, really well, I thought.
Yeah, the car's a lot better in the dry than it is the wet. But that's the thing that Stuart. That's how he sets him up, and that's how he's told me to set it up. So we struggled a bit for about 9 laps, but it started coming again then.
That's all right. So let's just this year. Obviously, you race Shale. Is the kind of we've spoken a couple of times around aspirations. What's this year looking like for you?
Terrible, obviously.
Yeah, but it's a bad start.
No, it's a bad start.
I think we can get better from now.
Well, we're second in points after the first heat, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. Well, back at Bradford, but you finished last year when you went to Bradford, and you went nearly up over the fence, didn't you?
Yeah, and it's set on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, this year it'll just be. I'm going to try to do as many meetings as I can.
Yeah.
I don't know how long. Obviously, with me young and now and everything, I don't know how much longer I'll be doing it, because. You know, they're expensive as well, and I can't be just buying everything for these and nothing for them.
What do you mean need some milk? There's a tyre that's needed for that car.
But no, we're going to try to do maybe a few tarmac meetings as well.
Yeah.
You know, British at
What, in this car?
Yeah. Just probably not to compete, but just maybe a bit of action and keeps people going to watch.
It does. And you're smiling, which is what I like.
Yeah, always.
Thank
Jonathan.
you.
That's why I'm talking to you.
I know. And that's why, so your dad came over and was like, he's really miserable today. Go and talk to him and cheer him up. So I was like, right, okay.
It's worked.
Thank you.
A treat.
Have a nice meeting.
Thank you very much.
We thought we'd come and talk to you. We spoke at the NEC, didn't we? Brand new, beautiful car.
Yes.
But it's not here tonight. So we just kind of thought, like, what's going on?
Just wait for the engine.
Okay.
Everyone's struggling for engine parts. I've just got the parts this week, so we need to get it balanced, get it all assembled and put together. So I can't do anything. You know what I mean? Stuff's just taking that long to come. I didn't have another engine without taking one out of the car. I could put in it, so I just, you know what I mean? I wanted to race obviously with my local one. Obviously, you know, support the stadium and everything. And, so we just grabbed the nearest one in the garage and.
So nothing sinister. It's just waiting on parts.
Nothing at all, mate. Just waiting for parts. Obviously, I can't do anything about it. It's either not race or. You know, fetch this. There's nothing wrong with these cars. No. You know, we'll see tonight.
But I think a lot of people are in that situation. From talking to drivers.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anything for a few weeks now. I'm not racing for a bit. Okay. Obviously, you know, I need to pick and choose a little bit. Everything's got too expensive. Yeah. I just can't warrant the fuel and everything anymore. You know, to go distances. So I just can't do it, unfortunately. And you know, we're just going to pick and choose a little bit. You know, do the qualifiers and stuff and. Sort of just pick between them.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to a few drivers last weekend and like in the build-up to this year, and they're all kind of saying a similar sort of thing. Not, I want to race, but actually, I've got to pick my meetings. I can't do every single one.
You know, we've looked through it. Obviously, me and the kids. Now the kids are racing. They've both said to me, look, you know, we probably need to cut back a little bit. Yeah. And then the meetings we do, we can have new tyres on and stuff. You know, because a lot of time we struggle with that because we do a lot of meetings, so we don't have the tyres and stuff. So you know, we're going to try it a different way this year. You know, yeah, I'd love to have gone last week for the first meeting. Of course I would. I don't think I've ever missed the first meeting, but it just wasn't to be. You know what I mean? The diesel just for me to race there was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
so,
it's a long way for everybody.
500 quid for me to do Kings Lynn. I can come here for 80 quid.
Yes.
So of course I'm going to come here, you know what I mean? But you know, that's how I've got to be now. I've got to sort of be a little bit selfish and just put myself first. And
so I guess the questions you need to ask them before we leave you to it is debut for the show car is going to be
hopefully the Kings Lynn qualifier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sort of aiming for, if I can get my engine done in time. Again, if not, I'll probably be in one of the higher cars again. I think they're both booked out actually, so I might not be. Yeah, obviously I've got to take it round that. Yeah. You know, like I say I've got higher cars out every now and then, which I will be at meetings, but obviously, you know, I don't have to do the meetings.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy Bradford.
I'll try.
Good. Sunbury, we're going to talk to you because you're very much the star of the show last weekend. You won the final, second in your heat, and 7th, I think, in the national. 8th.
Yeah.
Good correction. But absolute top point scorer, and certainly to start the season, it was a great start.
Yeah, it was for us. We booked in last minute because we weren't ready, and it was just, I don't know, I guess when I do stuff like that, I always seem to be a bit better. There's no pressure, it's just, bugger it, let's go racing. So, yeah, the first heat, whites and yellows, was a disaster.
Yep. It was a bit wet there, wasn't it? It was a bit wet.
It was one of them things, Derek had already told me that I needed to go steady, but yeah.
It's a stock car race.
Yeah, you can't help it, can you? You've got all that horsepower, you want to use it, so. But yeah, nothing I could do, I couldn't keep it straight, and then ended up buckling the back rim, so yeah, that was the end of that. And then, like you say, again, you go out with no expectations, and it just went well. So,
To be fair, right, you know, I've been around stock cars a lot. I was quite surprised to see you'd kind of gone down to yellow. Do you know what I mean? Because you were put red last year, and
well, like I say, a few people say that, but they forget that it's like Dad says, you don't realise when somebody else is having a bad meeting. And yeah, from the British, we did 7 meetings, didn't score a single point.
Right, okay.
And it wasn't any intention or anything like that, you know, we don't want hassle, but the engine were just, we found a load of PTFE in carb, we thought we'd dealt with it, and then we found a bit more, and it was just, and then of course it's what is it, like I say, it was never running right, and Kings Lynn, I finally got a break from blue, got to the front, but again, Derek had been helping us. We'd left idle up a bit high and I couldn't get it to stop. Right. So I just drove myself in when the track slicked off. So like I said, 7 meetings without a point. It was just, you can only race what you're given. So.
Well, you're right, and it's quite, I've never thought about it like that. You notice when people are doing well, but when people have rubbish meetings, you don't really notice. And I suppose,
But it's like Dad says, we mustn't have gone to them meetings because we're not in points charts.
You're not there, we were never there.
Yeah.
You had this car last year, didn't you? Start last year off wheel Yarrow.
Yeah.
Happy with it, and have you kind of got it to how you want it now, I suppose?
Yeah, Ben dealt with a lot of it for us last year. He's always helped us as Ben, sister's boyfriend, ever since we started in F2s, and we did what we could, but he said, you know, you'll benefit from different suspension setup. But he's just bought a house with my sister, so he didn't have time. And someone tipped Lee off, so Lee did it for us instead. And like I said, well, he was right. It did benefit massive from a suspension update. So
what's your plans this year? You're obviously predominantly on shale, aren't you? Have you kind of set yourself any goals for this coming year?
Nah, we're not even going to chase World Final. It's just go racing when we want to. I mean, we'll probably try and do them all at first. Get the red wing back on again. If we go blue, we've got to buy another wing.
You need to go straight to red.
Yeah, because I smashed that one, so I need to go straight to red. So and then we'll just race where we want to race. So depends on the weather and what works like. So
but like you said, though, if you kind of go in with like no expectations potentially, or you're just getting right, we'll go racing then, and you're enjoying it. That's potentially how you're going to get those great results.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I spent a lot of time in F2s beating myself up and getting angry because we weren't getting to where I wanted to be. But you could say last year was similar, but it's even more frustrating when you have such a good start and you know you can do it. We'll just see what happens with the season. If we get to the World Final, we get there. But
and it's on shale though.
Yeah, but I've never got on with Northampton really. But they've meant to have modified the track a bit, so we'll see. When it's very slippy and clayey, and as we found out at Kings Lynn, I've no patience for a wet track. I just go too fast. So but if we get there, we'll show up and we'll give it a go at the beginning of this month, next month, and try it out.
Lovely. So that sun is like, Sam said, stand there. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's like searing my eyeballs. Sam, thanks so much for your time.
No worries.
Good luck tonight at Bradford.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Superstar. So at Bradford, I'm going to chat to 457 Callum Gill following his Grand National win at Kings Lynn last weekend. Callum, nice to talk to you.
And you, and you.
So, you've been looking forward to chatting to me, haven't you, your mum said?
Yeah, we've been on and off on Facebook a little bit, haven't we? About the old car reveal, and that never really happened because that was just everything was a big rush.
Yeah.
But finally, we're nearly there.
Yeah, nearly there. So Kings Lynn was the Grand National was your first win in Formula One?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Was it kind of a bit of a hurdle you wanted to get over and get done, and like I've won one?
It's one of them things. I didn't think that was going to happen for a long time. Like, when I raced bangers, that was like years before I won an unlimited race, and you just got to progress. You got to start from the bottom and work your way up. And I thought it's going to be a couple of years just to finish and just do all right. It's just start and you progress. And to win, I think that was my 9th meeting I've done, and to get a win, it's just unbelievable, to be honest.
Because you are relatively new to Formula One. Middle part of last year, you came into Formula One, so you are quite new to the sport.
Yeah, bangers has just been my life really, and I got friendly with Finn Sargent and Mark, and they said, "Oh, come along." So I started going along with them. I had a couple of practice days with them, and I thought, "Oh, you know what? Maybe this might be time for a change." And I said, Mum said, "Are you going to get a stock car?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I said, "I want to win a world final before I change." And I won a world final, and she was like, "It's your turn to change now." And I was just like, "Oh, fair enough."
So it's your mum that made you do it?
Yeah, she wanted it. She'd been pushing me for a long time. We did look at an F2 about 5 years ago or something, but I wasn't interested. I was just banger-minded. Yeah. And it's just, after I won the world final, I was just like, do you know what, maybe it is time to have a go in something else.
But you've not come into Formula One half-heartedly. You've got a very nice car from Ryan, which is Ryan's shell car. Lovely transporter. You're serious about this.
Yeah, it's like I'll say to everyone, like, it's just with a banger. Like, they all look the same, but they're all different in their own ways. Like, you can put them every car side by side and they can look the same, but it's all different. And I did want this off Ryan, and he said, "You're going to have to wait until this year to have it, because I can't build you one in time." So I thought, yeah, that's fine. So then Dad was like, "You need to be out there." And I was just like, what are we going to do? So we ended up with an ex-Nigel Green car. Yeah. That took longer than expected. Yeah. I wanted to be out in March, and I think we come out in July. Yeah. I think maybe July or June. We ended up out in it, and then I said to Ryan, I want this car, and then he got banned, and I was just like, well, it's a bit of a downfall for him, but it isn't for me.
Well, you're like Ryan.
Yeah, I left it a couple of days. I thought I'll leave it till Thursday and be like, "Do you know this car?" Yeah, but I can't thank him enough, to be honest. You buy a car from him, but he just helps you. Like Kings Lynn, Saturday night, he's on the phone to us all night, helping you along. It's just, you're buying a car and him, really.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of people that I've spoken to that have had cars from Ryan have said something very similar to that aftercare service that he offers, which kind of, especially when you're new to something, it's like, well, I don't really know how it works, so what do I need to do? And
yeah. That's like, we come in and earn absolutely nothing, and it is hard, and it has been hard, but it is nice to have that support there as well, to help you along and push you, because I think I'd have give up by now.
They're very different to bangers to drive. It's a stupid question, I know they are, but was the transition like, I didn't realise it would be so different?
I went practicing at Kings Lynn on the Thursday before, and when you're racing around there, and Ryan took a fella with him, and I was racing around, and when you're racing around there, you think, I ain't ready for this. Right, like, you're watching them from the outside, and Ryan, Tom, Finnegan, they're on the move, and you're thinking, I'm nowhere near that. Like, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And Ryan was like, "You're doing it." And I was like, "All right, we're going." And I went out there, and it isn't as bad when you're out there as you think. They are a lot harder to drive than a banger, and they do hurt a lot more than a banger. But I should have done the change a long time ago.
I do think, like you say, from the outside looking in, when I stand on the back straight at Kings Lynn and you watch him coming round that and down the back straight, you're like, right, that's scary, that is. But I suppose when you're in it, you're just kind of in it, and it's not as scary.
No, you're all with everyone. You're all doing the same speed, so you are going some, but you're all at that speed, so it's not as bad as it looks, really. until you hit the fence, and then you're like, oh yeah, we were moving.
So my last question: you've got your first race win under your belt. What are your plans for Formula One? What do you want to achieve in this sport?
This is the first full season in a stock car. I just see how it goes. Really, this is another year of just practicing, getting used to the car, tyres, just generally just getting settled in. And to get a win on the first meeting of the year, I was just like, well,
happy days.
Yeah, it's a good start, but I don't expect anything for a long time, to be fair. Like some of these boys have been in the game before I was born, and just to race with them and do well is enough. Maybe one day I might be good enough to win a championship. You never know, but time will tell. Time will tell.
And do you have half an hour on tarmac, or is that like that's just for another day?
Probably not.
No.
Not anytime soon. Maybe when we're settled in a little bit with a shale car and comfortable, I might have a go, think about it. It's a bit hard when it starts getting to semi-finals, and if I get put on tarmac and I don't have a tarmac car, but then it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money and a lot of time. Like it's only me and Jake can do it in the shed. Dad helps occasionally.
So where are you from? Where do you live?
Kings Lynn.
Right, okay.
So that's our home track for us. It's only 10 minutes away for us.
But it's a bit of a trek to come up here.
Yeah, 3 hours for us to here. But it's a good track. Yeah, it is a good track. I do like it.
Good. It's lovely to talk to you. Well done for last week. Good luck for tonight.
Thank you. I think I need it by the state of that track.
It's just a bit moist.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Shouldn't get any more rain. Hopefully not.
No, it'll dry out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.